Good morning. Many a times the utopian schemes are capable of being translated into reality. And universal minimum basic income is one of those schemes, ever touted as impractical, always thought to be an issue of major concern for promoting laziness, shirking work, and being too expensive. This scheme now is making a comeback. Finland is the first country to implement it, and they are implementing it on an experimental level. Even in India, though the universal minimum income has had a variation of PDS, now Jammu and Kashmir government is considering to implement the scheme. Ontario project has also been thought of, where $1,320 would be given to each individual. Persons with disability will get $500 more, and the payment is always non-taxable and is given to you whatever your income may be. The purpose is to ensure that the citizens of the country are protected against poverty, that the basic minimum needs are looked after. Now, the scheme, as propounded, seems to be good, and it can be in various forms. But the most easily understandable form is basically the same one, and that is to give people non-taxable benefit and give it without any discrimination. As a matter of fact, there are some countries which can afford it, like Finland. But it has two major features. A, when you give welfare, it makes the recipient feel like he's a beggar. It takes away his dignity. But when money is given on a universal level without any discrimination, Bill Gates may be getting it as the richest man, and the poorest slob may be getting it. So there's no discrimination, and it does not devalue the recipient. There is a certain dignified living. Second is, it helps people live simply without even working, or rather without getting paid work. But then, they cannot afford the luxuries. It's a common mundane life. So it's a very simple way that people lead a simple life without succumbing to the pressure of being attracted to the gangs, drugs, or criminal activities. Now, the scheme is good, undoubtedly, and we have yet to see how it works. Is it really efficient? It would work in the form of a tax credit for those who have a job, or a straight-up check from the government. Some have advocated that the full amount should be given to the people regardless of their income. This is something excellent, but what's the benefit of giving this scheme? I have always been against welfare, because welfare breeds drones. I always say that the welfare is the first step towards criminal activity, because the people have unearned money. But when the universal basic income is there, it's not unearned. Because as I said, everybody is on a level playing field. And major benefit is that you are protected against poverty. You do not have to think about how you are going to live. And the question of saving, which is predominant in the people, takes a second place. With the result that the economic activity goes up. People are getting money and they're spending. The need for the produced goods goes up, which generates further employment. You see, you remember that in 1960s, GIS was implemented in Canada and it reduced poverty in the upper age group. Secondly, when the bare minimum are looked after, you have wider spin-off effects. There's better health, better education, and a mobile workforce. There's removal of the welfare wall, and the prospect of losing income is not there. So people can try to re-enter the workforce, those who want to improve their economic standard. This, the basics have been covered. But beyond the basics are also there. The biblical injunction is, man does not live by bread alone. Agreed? So bread has been granted. But for other things you have got to work. And as I said, it takes out the stigma of social assistance. And the question is, who pays? Is it the government which pays? No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, the present social assistance programs, the present welfare programs, that would become unnecessary. So the money saved from those welfare programs and from those social programs would be translated into the basic income and given to a larger number of people. You see, when the people are assured of a certain income, they'll have better food and consequently better health. So the cost of the health care shall come down. That will go into that head. So what you are saving on the health and what you are saving on the welfare, you are giving as a sort of a minimum basic income, regardless of the working status of the person concerned. Then, people might say that the people in the higher income group who will get it and they will be taxed very highly. Bill Gates might get $12,000 a year, but for $12,000 he may be paying back $10,000 as a tax. So there's always a concern that the people who get the basic income check would always be willing to look for work to enhance it. What shall be the next step? The next step is you have to adopt a policy. And you have got to see that the money is really going to the people and is not being locked down. The main important thing is that the money enables you to live up and above the poverty line. So the poverty which is increasing now, and especially at the youth level, do you know the poorest people are today the youth? And when you guarantee basic minimum to the youth, you instill in them a desire to better their prospects. They get more education and increase their capability for the workforce. This is extremely important, increasing the workforce. Now, there's an unconditional one. Once you start doing it, it ensures equal opportunity for all. Now, many people stop studying because they cannot afford it. They go into criminal activities because they are tempting. They have got to feed the, you see, let's not forget, the basic requirements of the human beings, they have to be fulfilled. If the state fulfills it, then they can take up from there. So your take-off level goes up. And that is what is important. You would be surprised that this system has been in operation in Alaska since 1982. You remember in 1970, USA tried it. The same is true in Canada, where the town of Dauphin tried it and eliminated poverty for 5 years. You see, there's another thing. That when you have the basic income, the law and order situation improves. We have seen the experience in Namibia and Brazil, where the basic income was provided and the crime rate decreased appreciably. So, it's good from the social point of view. You save on the police cost as well. The numbers can be very high. On an average, you can think, say the $1,000 to be given, the true cost can be less than what the imagined cost would be. But then, are there any drawbacks? Yes, there would be. The first drawbacks would be that there might be number of people whose motivation to work may be reduced. Once you are having the basic requirements fulfilled, you might lack the motivation to earn more. You see, there are two varieties of people. One, their basic needs are fulfilled. They are motivated to work more to have the other thing. Others, what you call the contented souls, they say, okay, we are having 2 meals a day, nice stuff to live in. Why do we need to work? Let's be satisfied. So the least common denominator factor sets in. And that's the worst part of basic income. And that's happening. Now let's be very clear about that. That's happening. So 2 classes are built up. The class of the achievers and the class of the contented people. And the class of the contented people is a drag on the achievers then, ultimately. So what starts as a utopia scheme becomes a realistic scheme and then becomes a dystopia. It's defeating its own purpose. So what to do? The purpose is to ensure that just the basic necessities are fulfilled. Just the basic necessities. And the luxuries and the comforts are made so attractive that the people yearn for them. They desire for them. And when they desire for them, you would find that even when they are not motivated, the peer group pressure would help them become more motivated. Their children, their family, their friends, they'll say, well, okay, you have this, why you have the capability, why don't you work more? And they would work more. You see, the big picture is that investing in human capital always is useful. It may not give you immediate results, but in the long run, you have social cohesion. You have physical and mental health of a higher quality. And the biggest is that the social friction decreases. You see, the biggest issue today is not the income. It's the gap in the income. That issue will take up someday later, how to reduce the gap in the income. Because this is unimaginable that a CEO of a company in Canada earns an annual salary of a worker before noon. This is simply not done. But this basic income, scheme, in case it's implemented, would be a boon to the people, help people to generate more money. It's like a game of Monopoly, and the winning teams have rewritten the rules. So you don't collect the money for passing go, and the class function changes. I'm sure the utopia would help people improve their lives, as it's doing in Namibia, as doing in Brazil, as doing in Finland on experimental level, and hopefully it will be useful in Ontario as well. Thank you.